Hello, Serge here from the front tee at Old South with, as you know, here to my left, Greg McDonald, head instructor here of our golf schools at Old South in Bluffton, South Carolina. And Greg and I were actually on the back of the range for a while. We came up to this side so we get the sun's in a better position to do this daily. And I started talking to Greg about a problem I'm having really a lot of trouble with is to stay in my posture. And so why is posture so important, Greg?
Well, posture is the key to a good I mean, the posture is the #1 building block of the peak performance golf swing, without a doubt. I mean, the address position, grip, stance, posture, alignment, and ball position are the big five. So we have to include that all the time.
Right. So what we're talking about as far as posture here is maintaining your address position is the biggest one is posture.
Exactly.
It's not the grip that's giving me a problem. The alignment is another issue, but it's just staying in your posture, which is what we call athletically ready. And that means that when you're athletically ready in good posture, your body is all your muscles are engaged properly. Right. And the one that I've always said that you really have to feel engaged and getting good posture is that athletically ready position is like a shortstop over here, like this, or a tennis player waiting for a serve. And we get that by what we call the accordion effect, which is if you get into the right width of stance and you just bend your knees and your shoulders go down at the same time, you see it squeezes out my hips. All right, and that's like a one-step move, and that's great if you especially have downhill and uphill lies, because you could get to a point being real low, but if you came down that way, you'd be in balance even if the ball's way below your feet or above it.
Right.
And so that's important. But the big thing that I'm noticing with me is I get into my posture and I'm standing here, and all of a sudden I just kind of like I start to lose it because I've had problems with my sciatica, and I stretch out every day for that. But I really think it's coming to a point where, I mean, I got to so consciously think about it like I've never had before, because I get in here and every now and then I'll just step up to the ball and I'm in the posture, and the first thing you know, I just kind of relax my hips a little bit, and I lose this hips out look, which is just pushing both hips out. And notice when I'm here, and Greg brought up this point very well out there, notice my knees are, when I put the club on my knee, it comes down to like the base of where my toes are, or just a little bit between the toes and the end of the shoelaces, and my hips are a straight line from my hips, or where my pocket is down over my ankles. Well, I'm in this posture, and all of a sudden I know I go like that. I don't even really feel it. All of a sudden my hips just kind of collapse inward, and now look where my toes are, where my knees are. They're almost dead on my toes, and look where my hips are now. They've moved, they've sucked inside. So we do know that if you bend your knees too much, your shoulders go back, just as you bend forward too much. And if you don't adjust your knees straighten up. And so dynamic balance is just being in this position where you've got a little flexation here and you push the hips out. And the best thing I think about it is where do you feel the weight on your feet? Naturally, as you've heard me say, the weight should be in the arches. Right? And so you know that you have, when your arches are right here, you have the back, what I call the heel pad, and the front, the back of the ball of the foot pad, right, and the heel pad. Right. And I think you need to feel equal pressure there. So if any time you get in here and you're feeling too much a weight on your balls of your feet, you could almost try tapping your feet. And if you can, you're too far forward, just like if you start sitting back too much, and you can almost feel your heels coming up. And I can't tell you how many times people I see walk into a dresser, they go like that. And that tells me they're sitting back on the heels, because I see the feet come up and I see them stay back. And so it's got to get in it just right.
That's right. Well,
do you think of anything special about that?
Well, absolutely. I try to work on, in my posture position, I want to make sure that I have space between my knees and my shoulders. And the space I'm talking about is the space between here and here. This space between the top of your arches here,
which is like the bottom of the shoelaces,
and the top of your toe is where your shoulder is going to fit.
Yeah.
Over top of your...
It should be coming down right about there.
Right, exactly right. If I'm too back in my heels, then my arms will roll backwards.
Right, and your legs are in the way, which is very likely the balls you're going to be coming in like this and flailing it out to the right.
I use the analogy of a big crane. When the crane has an angle to it in the wrecking ball, if you keep rising the crane back up, what's eventually that wrecking ball going to do? It's going to bang into it. And that's what happens too many times with my higher handicap golfers that I teach, is they get into a pot where they want to sit. And then as soon as they sit, those knees get out, right, and there's just no way for their arms to get in front of them better.
Well, thinking of that concept of people talking about the bar stool, right? They've been told to sit on the bar stool. I'm saying if you do correct posture, you will not have yourself just sitting on the edge of the bar stool. You will actually push it away.
Right. So I encourage my golfers to hang their shoulders a little bit more out over them, more so than getting them too upright. Posture is 30 degrees. Remember Dr. Armstrong.
And if your posture is right with your shoulders, your arms are hanging more straight down.
Exactly.
Oh, we're straight down from the shoulder socket to that point, as compared. So in other words, they're hanging down like this. As your shoulders go up, they'll end up
going behind you,
or right even with you. Okay.
And then the wrecking ball.
All right, Greg. Let's you show it off. We're hitting at that flag out there. Let's see who gets closest to the flag.
Okay. All right.
You can handle this pressure. A little bit skinny, but it's like about 15, 20 feet right.
There you go.
Oh, and it got a good left kick.
A little thin, but.
Uh-oh, I'm gonna have to concentrate here.
Okay.
All right. But again, no. What'd you hear me say? I said, Greg hit a little bit skinny. And what do we always say? Thin to win.
Right.
Because they go farther and straighter.
They certainly do.
Chunky monkeys don't go anywhere.
No.
All right. I got to grind here. Get in that posture and stay put.
Okay, you win again.
Oh, that's got a shot of going in the hole.
It does.
That baby good.
Yeah, you need to posture more.
Okay, I'll give you a second chance sometime down the road, Greg.
Okay, all right.
But anyways, balance is important because why? Balance is everything. If you can't be in balance, you can't make good golf swings. The setup determines the motion. And basically, we're talking here about setup, and it was about the part of setup, which is your body posture. And the Balance Buddy will help you stay standing up no matter what it takes. And so if you have poor posture, it takes over. It don't care what you think, how you want to hit the ball, where you want to go.
Right.
Its job is to keep you standing up. That's why you see so many people hitting balls and falling backwards and falling forward, because the balance mechanism, your Balance Buddy, will eventually help you move out of the way and stay standing up. So the key is perfect posture can still have bad swings, get it out of balance. So you can never have a good balanced swing without standing first in good balance, a dynamically balanced setup, and then you got a chance of making a dynamically balanced swing, which is in the catcher's mitt, up the tree, in the catcher's mitt, up the tree. But you got to be in that balance to swing the arms vertical, as we teach. 3/4 limited turn.
Balance starts in the feet, and you work it all the way through until right before you're ready to hit, and make sure that your balance is in your feet before you pull the trigger.
As we call it, maintaining your spine angle all the way. All right, well, from Greg and Don on the front tee at Old South, that's it for today, and we'll be talking to you all again soon.